back to the Be Free Show. We're your hosts. I'm Anise, and this is my friend Ali.
And we are picking right back up from last week's episode on romantic relationships, where we dug into the first of 3 golden lessons. As a refresher, last week we hit lesson 1. When you rush into a relationship, you are not practicing self-love. This week we hit lesson 2. When lust drives us, our destination is a dead-end relationship. And lesson 3, when our happiness depends on a partner, we are selling ourselves short.
So let's get started with lesson 2. When lust drives us, our destination is a dead-end relationship. People, in essence, you are sabotaging any chance you have at true love.
Yes, and Anise, I've been guilty of this sort of self-sabotage one too many a time. Have you?
Since we're having true confessions on our show today, I have definitely let my lack of wholeness and self-love lead me into situations that didn't honor myself or the other person.
Family, let us be clear. We do believe that love and lust can and should coexist in a healthy relationship.
Yep.
Let me explain. Here you see love is built on things like friendship, partnership, etc. And here you see lust is built on things like sexual desire, physical attraction, etc. This graphic is simple. When you enter from the place of love, you're far more likely to experience that healthy fusion of love and lust. But when you enter from the place of lust, you're far more likely to experience hurt and heartbreak.
Yeah. So let me build on that.
Please.
When you enter into a relationship from a place of wholeness and self-love, you don't depend on another person to fill a void. You get to know the depths of somebody's soul. You're able to know how you complement versus complete each other.
Yes.
And you have the sound mind to assess true compatibility.
Yeah, I feel like we've all been in, or at least heard of, the classic situation. You get intimate with somebody, you underestimate the spiritual power of intimacy, and totally blur those lines between love and lust. Next you know, we're years deep into the wrong relationship. Now, I do believe men are conditioned to be more driven by lust than women are, but it's simply untrue and doesn't help anyone when we believe that men desire less to have a genuine loving relationship than women do.
Yeah, I agree with you, Ali. We believe that men and women both share the same desires and motivations to enter into a relationship from the right place of love.
That's right. And one way we avoid selling ourselves short with an unhealthy relationship is by never depending on somebody else for our happiness.
Yeah.
So if you're out there and you're unhappy, it's time to be alone. We know that's difficult. But this is lesson 3. When our happiness depends on a partner, we're selling ourselves short.
I never thought that I was selling myself short, but I was. My main desires for being in a relationship was to have someone make me feel valued, sexually desired, protected. But when I misappropriated those yearnings to someone else, I didn't realize that I could provide my own self with wholeness.
Yes.
Until therapy, the thought of losing a man's interest felt like the end of the world. Realizing that it isn't is the most freeing feeling. And you know what? I'm all right.
Yeah, and you know what? I want to honor your growth and your journey. Historically, for me, I entered relationships for 2 reasons. First, seeking that genuine love and companionship from a female.
We have that effect.
Yes. And secondly, lust. And ultimately, I learned that my so-called needs as a man can wait. So family, when I chose celibacy for myself, I didn't lose my sex drive, which of course is healthy. But I did lose being driven by sex, which was unhealthy and dangerous.
Yeah. Ali, I really want to honor your courage because most men wouldn't be willing to admit that. And Ali just admitted this in front of thousands of people. We hope this episode causes our viewers to think about, are your relationships being fueled by unconscious self-sabotage or self-love? In essence, we're calling all of you to go on a counter-cultural journey with us.
Yes.
Where our first call to action is to be free in romantic relationships. Because number 1, when we rush into a relationship, we're not practicing self-love. Lesson 2, when lust drives us, our destination is a dead-end relationship. It's dead from the beginning. When our happiness depends on another person, we're simply selling ourselves short.
Avoid these pitfalls and you're much closer to the path of a true healthy relationship, which as we've learned equals wholeness plus true love.
Yeah.
Subscribe to our Patreon page to continue this convo. Find us anywhere on the web at Be Free Show. And tune in next week where we'll dig into physical health. Until next time, family, we love you and be free.